Back for another live. Hope everyone is doing well tonight, midweek. Let me share this link with you guys. We'll give it a few more seconds, waiting for people to come in, and then today we're gonna continue our discussion about email marketing. So let me set this up, and then we should be good to go. All right, everyone. My name is Carrie Henderson. I am a consultant here to help you amplify your brand message, generate more leads, and so you can increase your revenue. I'm also one who loves building community and via my online platform and community events. And I am a champion for Black-owned businesses. So if you follow me on LinkedIn, if you're a part of my online community, you know we're like all Black everything in terms of sharing with you guys brands and businesses you should know. So today, I wanted to continue the discussion about email marketing, specifically around open rates. So someone asked me a question recently, and they wanted to know, like, how do they increase their email open rates? Because oftentimes, you spend all this time, all this energy into crafting emails, and then the last thing you want to experience is sending them out and no one answering them. So that is what we're going to be covering today. If you are watching live, please let me know where you're watching from. Drop it in the chat and let me know if you're watching live. And if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to do the same. Let me know where you're tuning in from and just say, hey, replay. So I know that you all caught this video after we went live tonight. So go ahead and put that in the chat and we will get started. All right. So we hear a lot of people talk about, oh, you need to build your email list. You need to build your email list. And of course, I believe if anyone who knows me will tell you, you need to have an email list, right? We put so much time and so much energy into social media. But what happens when Instagram goes down? Because that has happened often, right? What happens if something goes wrong with TikTok and it decides to go down and it doesn't work, or Facebook? And those are your primary sources of communicating with your audience. How would you communicate with them? So we always talk about the importance of building your email list, but the thing that we don't touch on enough is making sure that people open your emails. You should have high open rates. Why? Because the more people you can get your message in front of, you can build value, you can establish trust. Those are more people that will, from warm leads, people who they're interested in your services, they know that you can help them solve a problem, to becoming customers and becoming your clients if you're consulting or a coach. So it's very important not only to have an email list, but you want to make sure that you're doing things correctly to get people to open your emails. And so I dropped here on the screen, and I will drop in the chat after the replay. I'm going to be covering 7 tips that you can implement immediately after this. If you have an email list, if you're starting to establish one, I'm going to be sharing 7 tips that you can implement to increase your open rates. But if you want all 12 steps, because I'm not going to share all 12 tonight, but if you want all 12 steps, you can definitely download the guide. It's 12 things you can do immediately. Some of them you look on there and be like, oh, that makes sense, right? But you'd be surprised how many people don't always implement those steps that you can increase your open rate. Now, the average open rate for, I would say, across industries, because of course it varies per industry, but the average open rate is around 20%. So if you're doing 20%, you're doing good. If you want to be great, you want to be above 30%. Now, for me, I am my own email list. I average about 44% for my open rates. My client done dissertation, you guys heard me talk all about them last week and the work that I was doing. They also average about 44% for email open rates. So we're very much above the industry average, which is great because we want as many people to see our emails as possible. So if you find yourself below 20%, you definitely want to download this guide. It will definitely help you get above 20%. You'll probably see yourself in the 30% once you implement those steps. But your goal really, I always say we want to be above 30. The larger list that you create, the harder it is to get people to open your emails because they go to spam, people are busy. It's just a harder task. So the sooner you can get people to open your emails and can expect your emails from you regularly, the sooner you can get higher open rates and keep your higher open rates. Hey, good evening. How are you? Thank you for joining me on LinkedIn tonight. So, that is what we're going to be talking about. So, the first thing I want you guys to do when it comes to increasing your email open rates, you want to qualify your subscribers. Now, we always talk about grow your list, grow your list, grow your list. But if you grow your list and there's no one on your list that is interested in anything you have to offer, it's pointless and your email open rates will be extremely low. So, one of the things we touched on last week, so the way to qualify your subscribers is to have a lead magnet, right? You want to create a lead magnet that speaks to your target audience, something that will help them. You're not going to give them everything. You don't want to give them all your information, but you want to give them enough that they know, like, okay, you are someone that they should sign up for this lead magnet. You are someone that can provide them value. You know what you're talking about, right? Because you create a lead magnet that touches to a pain point. So they might say, okay, you know what? Let me see what other information I can get for them. Let me see what value they can provide. So you want to make sure you always qualify your subscribers. Now, the thing about that is, of course, your list may not be as large as it could be, but that's a good thing. You want to niche down, right? You target audience shouldn't be everybody. So by having a lead magnet, you're qualifying who is on your list. You're qualifying and having people on your list that are interested in your product or services. They are your target audience, right? Some people are going to download your lead magnet. They're going to read that. They'll read the emails that follow and say, yes, I want to buy from you immediately. Other people are going to need more time, which is why you want them on the list. You can use that as an opportunity to nurture them, send them information, warm them up so that when they are ready to make a buying decision, you are the first person that they go to. And so that goes into the second point, which is personalization. You want to personalize your emails. People want to feel like you're talking directly to them. I know when I had my email list, so when I was a stylist, I had an email list and I would send out emails providing style tips, links to my videos, and I always said, hey, insert the person's name. And one of the things that I also did was, because I had it personalized, when I gave them an update and say, hey, I'm no longer styling, this is what I'm doing, people responded to me directly and we were having conversations in email, right? And so personalizing will also get someone to open your email because they want to feel like you're talking directly to them. So not only do you want to put their name in the body of the email, but sometimes it's great to put their name, and I touch on this on one of my points, is to put their name in the subject line, add emojis in the subject line. You want to do something that's a, hey, let me see what they're talking about. So if you were going to talk about, for instance, if I'm talking about email marketing, right, I may put my name in there and say, Carrie, do you struggle with creating a lead magnet? Or ask a question in the subject line, right? So I always want to personalize it, because if someone sees their name in the subject line of the email, they're gonna be like, okay, let me see what they're talking about. She's talking, or he's talking directly to me. And so they want to make sure. That's a great way to get open rates. I know I've seen that work. I think when I switched over to doing newsletter format, the first subject line I had was a personalized to every single person. And I think my open rate was at least 50%, because everyone's curious, like, oh, she's talking or he's talking directly to me. Let me see what this is about. So make sure you personalize your emails. The third thing you want to do is you don't want to send too many emails. I don't know about y'all, but if I get too many emails from one person, I hit the unsubscribe button, and I'm sure you do too, right? No one wants to receive emails over and over and over again. And so you don't want to send too many emails, but you also want to send enough, which goes into my fourth point about being consistent. So these kind of tie hand in hand. And so the thing is like, well, how do you find the balance? How do you know how many emails to send? How many should I not? It all depends, of course, on your industry. A good rule of thumb, I know for us at Consultation, we try to send emails out at least once a week. Once a week, the same day, same time, roughly, depending on, if we're in a webinar launch, that may change. But for us, you want to make sure you're not sending too many, because too many emails, especially like back to back to back, like you send one on Sunday, send one on Monday, send one on Tuesday, like you didn't even give them enough time to really breathe. It's going to discourage someone. They're not even want to know what you're talking about, and they're just going to unsubscribe. Everyone, we all get so many emails. Our email inboxes are flooded. So the last thing you want to do is send too many where it gets cluttered and someone is just overwhelmed with the amount of emails that you send. They're just like, you know what? Never mind. You're emailing me too much. I'm going to unsubscribe. Which goes into the fourth point about being consistent. So we don't want to send too many emails, but we want to find the right balance of how many is enough. And then you want to do that consistently. And the reason you want to do this, you create this habit, right? So if you decide every Sunday, At 2 p.m., I'm going to email my list. And you start to do that consistently. Your email list, your subscribers will expect to receive an email every Sunday at 2 p.m. It gives them something to look forward to, right? And so if they know it's coming, they're going to open your email because they expect it. And so doing something for us, like with Consultation, we do it every week. Our audience knows every Sunday at the time we send it, that's when they're going to get an email from us, right? And so it's something to expect. And so you want to create a level of consistency. And the reason you also want to do that too, it helps you stay top of mind. Everyone is so busy. We have so much going on. And so if you find the right cadence for sending out your emails, you always are going to stay top of mind. So, like I mentioned before, everybody's not going to be ready to make a buying decision the first time they get on your email list, whether it's through a lead magnet or many of the options we talked about last week, webinars, challenges, quizzes. Someone may not be ready to make a buying decision. But if you email them consistently, which one of the other tips on the list, I'll tell you what that should look like. When you email them consistently, you are staying top of mind. So if they're like, oh, I'm ready, I'm struggling with this problem, I'm still struggling, I tried to find all the freebies I could find and they just didn't work, I need to hire this person to help me solve this problem, you are the person that they're going to go to because you are the person that is top of mind for them. So definitely make sure not too many emails, not too little emails. You want to find that nice balance in between, and you want to make sure you are consistent. Now, part of consistency means sending emails at the right time, right? We want to make sure we send them at the right time. Because if most of your audience opens their emails at night, and we'll say most of your audience opens their emails in the morning, and you send it at night when people have gone home, they're with their families or with their kids, they're in their nighttime routine, your open rates will be low. Now, yes, you have the chance of them opening the next morning. However, you also are competing with everyone else that sent emails that following morning. So you want to make sure you figure out the best day and time to send your emails. And a simple way to do this is just to send over a period of time, not in the same week, but over a period of time, stagger when you send out the email. So one week you may do Tuesdays. The next week you may do Thursday. The following week you may do Sunday. You just want to test out when you have the highest open rates over a period of time on different days. And that will give you an idea of what is the best day and time that your audience will open your emails. Now, if you can Google this online, most sites will tell you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, between 8 and 10 a.m. But again, that depends on your audience. I know for us, our audience is Sunday. Like Sundays is a great day for our audience to open the emails, right? That just depends on your target audience. So yes, industry says a certain day and time, but you really have to test and know who your audience is to understand what works for them. What industry says may not work for your audience. And that's okay. But you need to do the work to really test and figure out what day and time works best for you. Now, we touched on this earlier, but the sixth thing you want to do is you want to have interesting subject lines. You could send out the most amazing email, but if your subject line is trash, no one is going to open it, right? And so you spend all that time and all that energy creating an amazing email, providing all this information, and nobody opens your email because the subject line just wasn't good. And so one of the tricks of doing that is really picking a subject line that sparks curiosity. You don't want to say everything they can expect in the subject line. You want people to open the email, but you want to spark curiosity. You want to ask questions. As I mentioned earlier, you can personalize it and use the person's name. You can use emojis. Emojis do extremely well when it comes to email subject lines. And another great tip for creating great subject lines is to look for headline not schedulers, but headline analyzers. You can find this free online. And what they'll do is they'll help, if you have a subject line idea top of mind, they will give you a rating for your subject line, and it'll tell you like, okay, this is a great subject, this one's an average subject line, this one might need a little bit more work. And so one of the things I usually do is I like to check with the headline analyzer just to get an idea, okay, how would this one probably perform? This one, I may need to tweak a word here too. So if I'm thinking of something, I use that. And another great way to have interesting or to test your subject lines too is also do A/B testing. So what you would do is you pick one subject line, and in your email platform, you can send it to a certain group of people, and then You may do a different subject line, and whichever subject line gets the most opens, that's the email that goes out to your entire list. So A/B testing is another great way to test to see which subject lines work best. I know someone that does this with their newsletter every single week, because she told me every single week for her company newsletter, they do A/B testing to see which subject line really is going to capture their audience, because they have open rates at least above 60%. So that is a great way to test to make sure your subject line is one that's really going to capture your audience. And the final tip I want to share with you guys today, again, if you want all 12 steps, make sure you click the link that is on the screen. You can download this free guide. It gives you the 12 steps to increase your email open rates. I created this one because I know a lot of people after last week are creating their email marketing platforms, or they're improving their email marketing platforms. And so once you get everything set up and you do all this work to put your email platform together, and you create your lead magnet, I want people to open your emails. I want you to increase your leads and get new clients. And so you want to make sure that you're getting high open rates so you can get in front of as many people as possible. So I'm sharing 7 tips tonight, but there are 5 more after that. So make sure you guys download that guide. She needs to send a chart. No, she's good. I believe her. I've looked in her stuff. Yeah, she does A/B testing, because I know I got an email. And then she was like, oh yeah, that hasn't gone out here because we're testing it. So yeah, her rates are really, really good. So the 7th step, this is, everyone pay attention. If you have an email list and you're sending emails, please, please, please create value. One of my pet peeves, and I'm on a ton of email lists because I like to just research to see how people are doing things. You know, I sign up for challenges and I sign up for other coaches just to see how they go about doing certain things. And one of my pet peeves is that people only send out emails when they want to promote something, when they want you to buy. Now, I get it. You're a business. You have to sell. But you also want to create value. If the only time someone gets an email from you is because you want them to purchase something, you haven't built trust with them. You haven't provided them with any value for them to trust that you will be the person that they should work with, right? I don't know about y'all, but I don't want people, if I'm signing up for, a coach or a consulting email, I don't want to just know when I should purchase. I want you to show me, like, you know what you're talking about, right? Like, a lead magnet is one thing to get people on the list, but I also need to know that you know what you're talking about. And so you want to make sure you are providing value. Think of it like the 80-20 rule, right? 80% value, 20% selling. That goes in email. That should be in your social media content. That's the rule we should live by. Like, I know we got to get the sale, but you have to build trust with your audience, right? Because once you build that trust, not only do you get them in for whatever you're selling at that time, but if you build trust, have them purchase at the time when they're ready, and it's an amazing experience, you will have a lifelong customer for other things that come down the pipeline. So you want to give them some value, then go in for the sale. Give them some more value and go in for sale. So one of the things we like to do is we may provide value in between. Like, a lot of coaches, they have seasons throughout the year when they launch a coaching program, right? So they'll open the doors for a certain period of time, and then they close them until the next cycle. And so let's say you're a coach that's doing that, in between when you have your open window, you may be dropping nuggets to your email list. It's something that's insightful, educational, something that would be helpful. If somebody asks you a question, you can respond to that question as an email to your email list. Like, hey, I just received this question, from a client. Give them an answer. That's also social media content. Just created content in multiple platforms. So you can use content, information, things that happen with clients. You want to just be able to provide your audience with value. Just not always sell. That will definitely turn them off. And they will unsubscribe, because I've unsubscribed from people who only contact me when they want to sell something, but they haven't communicated with me any other time of the year. So you want to make sure you're providing value. So it's value and ask. Some more value and ask. And you're building trust with this person along the way. And as mentioned earlier, you're also creating value, but then you're also staying top of mind. So when they are ready to purchase, you've built enough trust with them, with the information that you've provided them, that they are ready to go in and work with you for your services. So those are the 7 tips I wanted to provide with you guys tonight on how to increase your email open rates. I don't want y'all out here creating these amazing emails and nobody's reading them. We want to make sure people are reading them. So you want to make sure you implement those tips. Download the guide. I'll go over the tips again as a recap, but make sure you download the guide so you can implement this with your own strategy when it comes to email. Like I mentioned before, yes, social media is great, y'all, but you got to get your audience off social media. I know we love to be on Instagram and TikTok. You know, it's amazing. You're building amazing communities on those platforms, but you definitely want to get them offline in a space where you can communicate and continue to communicate with them outside of social media, because for one, we don't own any of those platforms, right? We don't own any of that space. And so you want to be able to create a space where you can continue to communicate with your audience outside of social media. You can continue to nurture your relationship, provide more value maybe via email than you can on social media platforms, and convert those leads into clients. But you got to get them off the platforms, because these platforms, y'all know, they're very unpredictable. Can be up one day, could be down for 48 hours the next. And if that's your only source of communicating with your audience and providing them with information, you are going to be out of luck. Okay, so let's recap again. Just some of the ways you can increase your email open rates. One, create YouTube also, so you know them watching if not reading. Yes, and YouTube is another great space. But again, YouTube is another social media platform, right? And so what happens if YouTube goes down and you're only using video to promote an offer or promote a challenge or promote, opening doors for a program? You always want to have another opportunity to communicate with your audience. It's all about creating other opportunities to communicate outside of social media. So let's recap. So the seven tips we have here tonight. One, you want to qualify your subscribers. So you can do that through a lead magnet. Challenges are great, but I think a lead magnet is a stronger way to qualify. I think it's a stronger way to qualify your audience, because usually lead magnets provide some type of value to them versus a challenge. Challenges they can participate in, but I think lead magnets are great because they provide a tangible solution to a problem, right? Like I did this list, right? If I know someone is struggling to get email open rates, I'm going to provide them with tips on how to do that. So I think that's just a more tangible way to qualify your leads versus challenges, which can be a little bit broader, and you may get people that aren't really your target audience. They're not as niche down as you want them to be. Second, you want personalization. You want to personalize your emails. Use their name not only in the, when you're greeting them in the email, but use their name in the body of the email. You can use their name in the subject line. You don't have to use their name in every subject line, because that'll get kind of old, but you always want to mix it up a little bit. Every once in a while, you may want to ask a question. You may want to state something with their name in it, just to grab their attention, especially if it's something important that you want to make sure that they read. Make sure you use their name and personalize. Number 3, don't send too many emails. We don't want to overwhelm our inboxes with emails, right? It can be a lot. We get emails all day, every day. And so you don't want to overwhelm your audience with too many emails. You want to find the right cadence. How many times a week? Is it once a week? Is it twice a month? Figure out the rhythm for your business. And then once you figure out that rhythm, make sure you do it consistently. So that means same day, same time, you want to send out your emails. And then that was number 5, send emails at the right time. So once you figure out how often you want to send them, you figure out a cadence. If it's once a week, twice a month, then you want to figure out the right day and time. And again, remember, we're testing. So you want to test to see, do you send it on Sundays at 4 p.m. or do you send it Thursdays at 8:30? You want to test to find out what is the best day and time for your audience. As I mentioned earlier, whatever they say on the internet may not apply to you, and that is okay. The average, most, all these different platforms say, oh, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. That is most likely true. But it's really your job to test and figure that out, because your audience is going to be different than what may be the average, and that is okay. But you need to do the work to make sure you test out when is the best day and time to send that information. Number 6, we want to have interesting subject lines. You want to stand out from all the clutter. There's going to be a lot of clutter in everybody's inbox. So you want to make sure using subject lines that really grab your audience attention. It sparks curiosity, and it makes them want to open your email to learn more. So you're not going to put everything in the subject. You don't want to sell everything, but you want to have a title. It's like YouTube. When you go on YouTube, they'll have interesting titles right on the thumbnail to make you like, oh, let me click on this to see what they're talking about. Or they have a shocking title because they want you to open and watch the YouTube video. You're taking that same philosophy to email. You want to have that subject line that sparks curiosity. It piques their attention and like, oh, well, let me see what they're talking about today in this email. And finally, you want to make sure you add value. Value, value, value. We don't want to always go in for the hard sell. We want to make sure we're also providing value because you want to build trust with your audience. As I mentioned, everyone who signs up for your lead magnet is not going to be ready to make a purchase. Most likely they won't at the front. I've had to explain that to clients before. Like, I know we want every person that signs up for our lead magnet to like jump in and buy that 4-figure, coaching program, but it doesn't work that way. Some people, it can take them up to a year to make a buying decision. So you want to use your email as an opportunity to really nurture, grow with your audience, provide them value, build trust with them so that they trust you and like, okay, this is the person that I know I can go to when I need help. And you want to create a rapport with them. That's all when you're having these email lists, you're creating community and you're creating a rapport because you want to stay top of mind. So make sure you're adding value, 80% value, 20% sell. I didn't say don't sell, but we don't want to always just sell. We have to have a mix in there. So those are the 7 tips I'm giving you guys tonight. There are plenty more. So I'll put this up on the screen again. If you want the full list of tips on how to increase your email open rates, make sure you download the guide. And I will also drop this in the chat. Once I end the live, I'll go in on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube to drop the link so you guys can click on it directly. Listen, I know we love social media, as I said before, but we're going into 2023. I want y'all to get your email list tight. I want y'all to build your audience off those platforms. I want y'all to have your email set up. And then going into this new year, really having consistency with that and growing your list and generating leads to increase your revenue. Like, yes, you can increase and make money off social media. People do it all the time. But the highest return on investment is going to be in your emails. And so if you're not using email right now, you slacked on using your email, you need to pick it back up again. Make sure you download this guide. If you need someone to walk you through how to do that, you need more one-on-one help with putting together your email marketing strategy, you guys can schedule a consultation with me. It'll be a 15-minute consultation. We'll talk about what your needs are. Email is what we're focusing on right now, but if you have issues with social media content creation, if you need help with that, or there's a bigger, you need to create a bigger streamlined marketing strategy for your business, I do that as well. So, go ahead, book a consultation with me. We can chat about where you need assistance in your digital marketing strategy. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to get us all the way together, y'all. Everything is online these days, so we got to get it tight and we got to get it right, okay? So, hey, Lynn, thanks for joining. You'll need this guide for when we meet next weekend. I'll make sure I send this to you so you'll have it. Yeah, I'm trying to get us together, y'all. I'm trying to get us together. We got to get the email marketing tight. Like, there's a lot of value in doing things online. Everyone is online these days, but we want to make sure we're doing it right. And we want to make sure we're putting ourselves in a position to really provide value and grow your business. So again, if you need help with your email marketing strategy, social media content, or you need someone to really help you create your entire digital marketing strategy, go ahead and click the link for this consultation, 15-minute free consultation. I'll talk to you about where you are in your digital marketing journey. Just a little backstory, as you guys may have remembered, if you were on last week, I started working with my client Done Dissertation last June. I kind of fell into that by accident because they are family friends of mine. And so I came in, started with social media, but once I got my hands in everything and took a look around, I helped them revamp and and basically level up the online digital marketing space. So that meant helping with creating and updating the website. We worked with a web developer, but gave them the outline of what I want the website to look like. Getting the email marketing strategy together, right? So the Understation had a ton of emails, but we weren't using them and optimizing them. So I streamlined the email marketing strategy. If you guys look at Dissertation, Dr. Ramon Goings is everywhere. People always say, why do I see him everywhere? Because we made sure we put together a content strategy that allowed him to always be front and center, top of mind. So when people think about a Dissertation coach, he is the only person people think about, right? Because he is online all the time. There's a strategy to that. It's a strategy to that, which I help him put together, right? So we have we have email marketing strategy, content creation strategy, social media strategy. There's a strategy to the website. The website is designed the way it is for a reason. Lead magnet strategy. I helped him. We niched down and created lead magnets to really provide value and get more of our target audience on our email list. So these are all of the things that I have helped done dissertation. These are all the things that I can help you do. So if you do need that help, someone that needs that help, go ahead and click the link to schedule a consultation. Hey, Kristen, thanks for joining. Kristen's the one I was telling you guys about who does A/B testing and has open rates above 60%. Okay. She's killing it in her email marketing. Like her newsletter is really, really good. So if you are a single mom looking for an online community, make sure you contact Kristen Hargrove. She's in the LinkedIn comments. Go to her page, check out Coach Tripper. They're doing amazing things. They have trips coming up. Costa Rica is next on the list. So if you or someone a single mom that is looking for an online community, make sure you check out Kristen and Coach Tripper. And again, if you guys need the guide, I'm gonna put it up one more time. Download the guide for the 12 steps to increase your open rates. Y'all can get to 60% too. If Kristen can do it, if I can get to 44 average, done dissertations at 44%, we can average those numbers. Y'all can too. So before I hop off, are there any questions? Any questions for tonight? And thank you all for everyone who is tuning in. Drop your questions because I can go live each week and answer questions. So if you guys have questions, you can drop them in the chat or you can DM me directly. And any questions you have, we can answer them every week on live. So let me know if we have any questions. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Taking time out on Wednesday. I hope you all are having a great week. It's been a long week already, but we gonna push through. All righty. All right, guys. If there aren't any questions, I will drop all the links in the chat on the multiple platforms, so you have them if you want to come back to this video. If you have any questions that you didn't want to leave in the chat, but you still want to ask them, go ahead and shoot me a DM. I will answer them, and I will see you guys next time.